Time now for the big fat idea. Erin Campbell's joining me. She's ECMB Capital. Erin, first of all, I know you're at the Calgary Stampede, so I appreciate you very much finding time for us.
Well, I tell you, it's beautiful here, and being in the heart of the energy industry in Canada leads very nicely into what I want to talk about today.
Well, let's go. Let's get the big fat idea.
Sure. Well, I think everyone's been watching the news out of the Eastern Canada with this terrible heat wave and the impacts that's had on people, and certainly we're seeing the same super high temperatures across southern United States and into Europe. And really that just brings to attention the high cost of electricity and energy and the increasing cost of electricity and energy. And frankly, carbon taxes just pile even higher on that. And there's a real opportunity there for investors who can identify companies that reduce the energy costs for consumers and businesses, or find new technologies and new ways to help reduce those costs.
Yeah, it's a fascinating area, and I couldn't agree more that what an opportunity that people, I mean, the efficiency, the cost savings, that kind of stuff. And just as you say, the environment, certainly the eastern part of the States and Canada have been living in, and I mean, it's been some tragedies too, which is, of course, horrible. But there is interesting opportunities there. Can you give us an example of maybe how to play this?
Sure. So one of the things that is critical when you're looking at these opportunities is choosing companies that find the sweet spot in terms of the place where energy costs are high or getting higher, and in the case of the air conditioning industry, places where there's high temperatures and a high need for air conditioning. There's a couple of companies that I think are looking at this in a really innovative way. One is looking at it from the renewable energy and optimizing renewable energy and getting better efficiencies, and that's Celestica, which is a solar energy company on the TSE. But with these huge high temperatures, there's sort of the traditional blue chip names like Siemens and Danfoss. There's a really interesting Canadian company that's just signed an important acquisition in the U.S., and that company's called SmartCool. They've just acquired a suite of technologies to help businesses become more energy efficient. They also just did a really neat deal with Mike Holmes to roll out a residential product, and this is pretty game-changing. So they've targeted places like Arizona, whose energy cost, in Canadian dollars is north of $15 a kilowatt hour. Hawaii, where the costs are $33 a kilowatt hour, and they've got a home product that could really be a game changer. So I'm watching that one really closely as well.
Great. I mean, really interesting ideas. Let's look at Celestica Solar for a second. Well, we can look at both. I'll ask you the same question. Where would it fit in a portfolio? And obviously, we're just giving general kind of guidelines here. But would you consider this like a 2-year hold, and it's for growth or aggressive growth or speculation? Where do you sort of fit this in?
Yeah, I would say these are both speculative. The traditional guys like the Siemens of the world, those would be part of a longer-term balanced portfolio, but this would be part of the speculative component. And you're looking at a couple of years for, I think, the energy cost to continue to escalate, and consumers and businesses to get educated to understand there are really significant products available to reduce their energy costs.
Yeah, I'm interested already as a consumer. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I'm interested as an investor, but also as a consumer. I mean, obviously, more efficient energy use is huge, and it's a very popular subject right now. And lower cost is going to be a popular subject, as you say. With the heat wave, we're really watching, companies or individual homeowners watching their costs go up. And this is a real niche that I think is going to explode.
And even if you think about British Columbia, generally we don't air condition, but lots of people have heat pumps. And as summers have gotten hotter over the last few years, even British Columbia, which has sort of a stepped energy, so we start about $8.30 a kilowatt hour, and we jump up to $12.50 if you have teenagers that run lots of loads of laundry, as I do. So you can see how even in British Columbia, which isn't traditionally a place where you would look for energy efficiency savings, these products are even applicable into those markets, which just shows the massive revenue potential in a place like Phoenix or California or Florida.
Yeah. Or Hawaii too. Erin, thank you so much for taking the time. And when we join you again on the air, you'll explain to me how you got your teenagers to actually do laundry. But we'll leave that for another day.